Hi, this is Mr. Cordes, and today, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to talk to you about constructing your paragraphs so that you have your sentences in the right order as well as proper format. Today, I'm also going to kind of review the peer edit process. It looks a little bit different online and when you're by yourself, but there are certain things that I need you guys to double check before you submit your writing. So first things first, you have in front of you your intro paragraph. This time around, you have 3 sentences plus your thesis statement. You also have your body paragraphs. Your body paragraphs have been outlined with topic sentences, with concrete detail, commentary, and then concluding sentences. So you have in total 13 sentences altogether. You have 3 from the intro, and then you have 5 for each of your body paragraphs. You will notice that my example here is about candy from Of Mice and Men. No one else has written about candy. Everyone has written about either George and Lenny or Crooks and Curly's wife. Those were the pair options that you guys could select. So the first thing I'd like you guys to do is to open up that blank document, and we want to get a proper heading. So we have our name. Let me get up over here. Let's say that this is Jimmy's paper. He's got his name at the top. He's going to put his class, so English, and then he's going to put the period number, okay, the period in which he is. So let's say that he's in period 2. And then we are going to have the date. Now, this is usually the due date, ladies and gentlemen. So please make sure that you have the due date for this assignment. Okay, so those are the first 3 things, the basic 3 things that you can have. If you really want to impress your teacher, what you can do is go ahead and add the teacher's name right here. Some professors and teachers like that. It is part of MLA to identify who is teaching, but for you guys, it won't be required. All I need right now is your name, your class, and the due date. Okay, for the due date for you is not today, it's either tomorrow or Friday. So please identify on the Google Classroom when your due date is. We're going to go right down below, and I'm going to put the simple title of Mice and Men Loneliness Essay. There we go. Have not typed yet today, and so my fingers are rather stiff. Of Mice and Men, Loneliness Essay. Now, because Of Mice and Men is a book title, I need to make sure that it is underlined or italicized. I'm also going to take this and put it into the center. If I click over here where it says center, that's going to move it automatically. I don't have to click it over with the space bar. I don't have to tab it over. It does it automatically. However, when I press the enter button and I move down 1 or 2, I'm still in the center. So I've got to go back and click on the left alignment. Okay. Now, the wonderful thing is, ladies and gentlemen, we have all of our sentences. If for whatever reason you have an empty box in your body paragraphs or an empty box in your intro, you need to fill those in. Okay. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take this sentence. I'm going to go ahead and copy this sentence. And this is essentially what we're doing. We are cutting and pasting all of our sentences over. So I've got my first one. I'm going to come back here. I'm going to go for my character introduction. Copy. Okay. I'm just putting one sentence right after the other. Okay. Like this, and lo and behold, I've got my intro. Now, before we move on, a couple of items. One is I've got my book title right here, or my book title is somewhere in that first sentence. I need to make sure that it's uniformed in style with what I just did for my title of my essay. So if I italicized it, I need to make sure both are italicized. If I underlined one, I have to underline the other. Okay, it's not both, just one. Also, I need to make sure that I indent my paragraph. So I'm going to put my cursor right here at the beginning of the sentence and just hit the tab button, and it will move it over for me. Okay. Now, as I move into my next paragraph, I don't need to create extra space. Even the computer will, see how I hit the enter button? It creates like this additional space. We're going to fix that towards the end. So stay tuned, because at the very end, I'll talk about entire page formatting. Okay. So now what this looks like is I'm going to go back. I've got my intro, my 3-sentence intro. I'm going to go back over here and I'm going to start cutting and pasting my 5 sentences from my body paragraphs. Okay. I don't need anything else. I'm just going to go over here. What I'm doing, ladies and gentlemen, is I'm right-clicking on my mouse and I'm coming over to copy. You can also click the Control-C button after you highlight. If you have all of your tools open at the top of your Word document, what you can do is also highlight it, go to Edit, and then go down to Copy. Okay, so if you need to do that, that's an option as well. All right. So I'm going to go through. Notice that this brings it right up here. Because this is the beginning of my paragraph, I'm going to indent. Just press Tab once. You don't have to do anything else from there. Put my cursor back at the end, and I'm going to bring over now my concrete detail. Okay. Copy this. Whoops. Now, as I'm going through, I just double checked because there wasn't a period at that end of the sentence. So I'm going to make sure it's got a period. All of your sentences should have periods. Now, when I get to my commentary, we have our sentence starters. This shows that. I am not using those in my paragraphs. So I just want to collect what is after that. Okay, so I need to make sure I've got that capital letter. I need to get that full sentence out. Okay, also here, this also shows that for my second commentary. I'm going to take that out, copy, go here just like that, get to the end of my item, and I've got one more that I'm going to do. I'm going to copy, bring it over, just like that. Now that happened very fast, okay? And that's probably one of the biggest things, is getting our paper. If we were in the class, we would have a blank piece of paper next to us. We would have all of these graphs, and we would be writing it over one after the other, just like this, okay? So what we need to do now is, obviously, I would go on to my next body paragraph, okay? I would go on to the second body paragraph. So I would do the same thing for this second paragraph. So I'm going to copy that over. For the sake of time right now, I'm going to move us on to formatting and what we need to format properly. Okay. First things first, what I need to do is I need to select all. So I can either grab my cursor and drag over and highlight everything. I also have the option, if this is my paper, what I'm going to do is edit. What I can do is come down. Whoop, actually, let me move me out of the way. What I can do is come down and I can go select all, and that's going to select everything. For our formatting for our paper, we need proper MLA format. MLA stands for Modern Language Association. These are ways in which your paper is formatted and presented to your professors or to your teachers. So if I go over here, there's lots of different things. My font that I want is Times New Roman. Okay, so you're going to find Times New Roman. You're going to click on Times New Roman, but you also want 12-point font. Okay, nothing fancy, nothing big and bold, nothing's got like fancy cursive stuff. Nope, plain and basic. Times New Roman 12-point font. Okay. One of the other things that we want to do is we want to have double spacing, double line spacing. Okay, so if I come up to Format, there's going to be a lot of different things. There's the line spacing. I'm going to slide over to where I click double, so double line spacing. So this goes Format, line spacing, double. I'm going to click on that. And that's actually lengthened my paper. It looks like it's lengthened my paper, but I've got some unnecessary spaces in between. Like this space is not needed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete that space by hitting the back button. Same with here. I don't need a space between that. So I'm going to delete that as well and move my paper back to where it is condensed. So looking here, you'll notice I've got my first two paragraphs. Obviously, I still need my other one, but your paper should not exceed 2 pages because it is all where it needs to be. Okay. Now from here, there was this line. So I'm not too sure why that happened, why there's that little extra space. I think it's a formatting issue. I'm going to try to bring it all the way back and then hit enter again, it does it. So that's something that's formatted within the system itself. So we don't need to stress. If there was an additional space like that, that's not needed. What we want to do is just to have the basic one step. So as I go down here, it's going to do the same thing. That's a Word document issue, not something that you are worried about. Okay. Now, the other thing, real quickly, is in the assignment that was posted today, there was the peer edit checklist. When you look at the peer edit checklist, this is what it looks like here. This would be done with a partner in real life next to each other. And you've got a lot of different things to look for, okay? And this can be rather overwhelming if you don't go step by step or you're looking at someone else's. I'm not asking you to do all these markings. What I'm asking you to do is to look for those certain items. So one of the first things would be, let's say, is to read your paper aloud, okay? Go through and read your paper. And if you hear the word like George repeated over and over and over, you may want to switch it to he or his or him, okay? You want to make sure that you have, let's see, proper spelling. Did you spell Lenny correctly? Did you spell Curly's wife correctly? All right. Did you capitalize the C and the W in Curly's wife? Simple mistakes like that aren't going to be just passed over. At the 9th grade level, we need to make sure that we have proper like spelling and capitalization, okay? There's other things on here that you can look for. If there's a contraction, we want to spell it out. If there's our quotes, our concrete details, our textual evidence have quote marks around it. We've got paragraphs that are indented. You'll notice over here, there's one that talks about crossing off sentence starters. Okay, so if you have the point I'm trying to prove is, you're going to cross that off. Okay. So this is really to kind of help you fix and change in those last items. As you were writing your draft, you may have gone really fast. But the goal here, ladies and gentlemen, is to make sure that you have all of the details written out correctly. So does Crooks have a capital C? Because that's his name, right? Have we read our things out loud so that we can hear what's going on? Okay, that we can hear where it's awkward or where we repeat ourselves. So there's lots of things in this peer edit checklist that are going to be beneficial for you, okay? As you go through, this is what your paper will look like. You've got your name, class, the due date. You've got your of Mice and Men Loneliness. You've got Times New Roman 12-point font. You've got 1, 2, 3 paragraphs, 13 sentences altogether, okay? So you've got lots of things to go for and connect, all right? That's enough from me. Go ahead and make sure that your paper is formatted. Once it's done, I would have someone else who hasn't read Of Mice and Men or who hasn't done this assignment take a look at it so they could kind of double check everything. Like already, as I'm just sitting here looking at this, I've already got, look, I've got Candy, Candy, and Candy. I've got Candy's name a lot. Okay, so I might switch something like this one to he, or maybe his. This might be a good one to switch to his. I'm going to make those final corrections so my paper is as best as possible that it can be. Okay, message me if you have any questions or concerns. Put together your items. You will not turn this in until our next class session. So just remember that. Okay, talk to you guys soon.